Hello world, welcome to the journalist chat today, and today we have a very special guest from different part of the world, and we have a guest, those who are hero behind the scene. So we say, so the topic is like man behind the scene. So they are the people right now when you are staying in the home, but they have a responsibility and they're doing program outside, and they're right now taking the responsibility, and they're the people who are providing you the information and who are working to make it happen. And there was a quote like, without journalism and without journalists, even the COVID-19, it might do devastations in very bad way. So he started, there was an amazing and wonderful cinematographer, and he was a legend, and today there is another two legend, and one from one of the popular Bangladesh television, Jumunatv television, another from BBC World Service. Please welcome our guest tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
So Danny, how are you?
Yeah, we're fine. Okay, we're doing okay here.
Yeah.
Just dealing with the same thing everybody else is, and luckily we're staying healthy.
Yeah. Where are you right now? Are you in UK or Thailand?
Bangkok,
Oh,
Thailand.
you are. Oh, are you in Bangkok?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I mean, what if I ask you, like, what is the present situations of the Bangkok? Because we know that during the time of COVID-19, a lot of things happen in the world, and we all are afraid of that. This is not the problem of any of the country. This is a global problem. So what is the present condition of the Bangkok?
Sure. I mean, Bangkok right now is super quiet, and if you've ever been here, it's a hectic city. It's always tons of traffic, and right now when you're around, it's like eerily quiet, as I'm sure it is everywhere. Everybody can relate. We're doing some stories right now based on the informal economy that's kind of collapsed right now. These are street vendors, taxi drivers. Thailand relies a lot on tourism, and all of that is kind of completely stopped. Obviously, there's no incoming flights here, and I think the recent figures are about 7 million people without jobs right now. Out of a country of 65 million, so it's quite affected economically.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people. I mean, people are lucky, like people has a job. And so if I ask you the Bayazid Islam Polins, and I know you're natural, like you have been working like since one decade in the and serving the Bangladesh media, and you work in one of the popular television, Shamoy televisions, and you work with the Jugantor, and right now you're working for one of the Bangladeshi best televisions. So I know, like you, most of the time, your nature is to go to the field and cover. But right now, how you are doing, and what about
Um,
you right now there?
Actually, you are in Bangladesh, so you know the present situation of our country. So the thing is, we are working on the field, like we are uh, trying to trying to make ourselves secure, and going to the sport, and covering the news. And the thing is, our office is giving us freedom to take our job, like we can take our office in to like we work today, and they are giving us rest for today. And like
Yeah.
it's a home quarantine situation. We are going our home for today, and taking rest. After today, we join the office, and
Yeah.
going
I mean,
going to
like the
cover the
different kind
news.
of
Yeah.
shipment, and so
Yes.
one shift work for 2 days, and another shift work for another 2 days, and also the day-night shifts. And I think this is amazing. So,
Exactly.
Danny Ball, I know like you have been covering like a different crisis in the world, and you, I mean, I saw you, like I was so crazy to meet with you, kind of. So, I mean, if I ask you what motivations you have, why you chose these professions and work behind the screen?
Well, it started with photography. I'm sure it's the same for a lot of cameramen. Uh, and as I started with that, just getting to meet people that I would never have the chance to have a conversation with was what I think really drew me to the field. It kind of puts you out there, and as I got more and more into news, being in these historic moments was always super impressive. And it's which will hopefully we'll have Jonathan on and talk to him at some point as well.
Yeah.
Like Jonathan Head.
Mm.
but actually we were talking about this concept, and I'll quote him that we consider it a privilege to be in these moments where, even if sometimes it's crisis and not exactly a positive time, but it's still a privilege to be there as a witness.
Yeah. I mean, like if I ask you, like my question was basically what motivations you have and who is, when people choose any kind of preparation, so they have some role models. And yesterday I talked with and Rahul, so they basically talk about, okay, I started this profession because I feel this is my revolutions and freedom. So if I ask you, Bayazid Islam Polin,
Yeah.
like what motivations, like why you chose to be a video journalist?
Uh, Actually, like Danny, I work in the photography field, and I used to like there, but after I came to this field like videography, and I enjoy a lot because I love to see documentaries rather than film. That's why I love to do this job. And it's a social responsibility also, because I'm a student from journalism, and I've done graduation from journalism. And so many people in our field, people those who are come in the video journalist profession, they're not commonly they are not from the journalism background, and that's why sometimes they are not responsible for the society and for the people. So we have a responsibility, and I think that's why I came on this profession.
I mean,
I
you're talking
think
about the Bangladesh perspective, right?
exactly right,
Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah.
you are.
So then if I ask you, Lohan, he was basically sharing the people, those who are from the different backgrounds, and they're not from the journalism department, but they're not able to own as much as it is a social responsibility, like doing the filmmaking, videography. What about your opinion on that?
Okay, I just want to also mention one more thing, because you reminded me when you were talking about watching the documentaries and film, and I just want to mention one film that changed the whole course for me of the direction, which was a film called Baraka.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
Baraka and
And that,
Samsara, right?
so
Yeah.
that film, those films, that changed my whole path, and then led to me is a big responsibility to where I am now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if
the
I as a like
viewer.
I yeah yeah I so like I'm a like as a independent journalist. So basically, when I was inspired by one of the film is called the Bang Bang Club. So and
Yeah.
I mean he was a photographer, So this is kind of we feel journalism is not only professions, especially for me. If I like share my opinion, journalism is not only the profession for me, and it's more patience. And I feel like this is kind of revolution of me, and this is a way to inform and explore the idea, and which is, I mean, not possible in any other way. So by system Pauline, if I ask you, like, right now we know that around the world, like the media censorship is going on, people are not able to go to in the field. So people are the match people, I mean, the people are usually using their mobile phone, and they're working as a journalist or as a camera person, because they're using the new media tools. So how do you think, so when this new media profession, new media revolution is going on, and in the meantime the cinematographer, like these professions, and what will be the future, I mean, future context of these professions?
Actually, the thing is, day by day, the whole world is changing, and the perspective of media is changing right now. New media, this concept is come almost 2 or 3 years ago, but right now it's the uh, popular uh, side. Uh, So that you are talking about the new media is occupied our position, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
special stories, documentaries, this gonna no one can take this position. New media only you can live, or you
Mm,
can share your view, but
mm,
you cannot use it as a like as a full length film making. So
Yeah.
when you want to make a documentary or a investigative reporting, so you must need a experienced guy, so
Yeah.
that new media is taking his position right now, but his new media is not taking our position as well,
Yeah.
because this right now the situation is the pandemic situation is so high, so everyone is on their house. That's why they are using the new media
Yeah,
too.
I'm talking about the in general. I'm talking about the in general situations like when this thing is happen. Suppose right now if something happened in summer, but the journalists and also like the camera person are not able to go there. But in the meantime, it's viral in the social media, and then
Yeah.
television take it as a reference and also for the corresponding. So I think this thing is happened. So Danny Bol, if I ask you, like, I know this is a kind of risky preparations, and I saw like one of the big camera. I'm not used to, because I'm not a camera person. I mean, it's an heavy things. So, what about your interesting story, and what about what experience you have, like what's experience you have when you was in the war field and when you was covering the more pandemic and also the crisis.
Like the crazier crisis stories, that's probably it's probably Bangladesh was like one of the more toughest ones. And I remember one of the days we were hiking. You're talking about the big camp. We were hiking all the way up through from Cox's into one of the
Covering the Rohingya crisis.
covering the Rohingya crisis, and we went to one of the camps on the border with like maybe hiking 11 hours or something like that, just going, and it was going from rain to mud to hot to everything. It was just a really long hike at the end of the road.
Mm,
And you get there, and people have been doing the same, coming from Myanmar on the other side.
mm,
And so a lot of people were coming in. They had fevers. They have a doctor in the camp,
mm,
and you see a lot of people just without having food, without having any rest for a long time.
mm,
So for me, I remember it was just really shocking being there, and then even more coming back to Bangkok where everything is normal. You know,
mm.
you
Yeah, I
get
mean,
up, you're
yeah.
there for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, however long you're there. I don't remember right now, and then you come back to Bangkok, and it's
Yeah.
just
I
Nothing
mean, different
happened.
situation, different perspective. And because I know like Bayazid Islam Polin, and we have another pride of Bangladesh, and his name is Mohsinul Hakim, who has been covering the one of the I mean very important issue of Bangladesh, and which is also related to the security issues. And Bayazid Islam Polin, who the most of the time work with him. So I'm very interested to listen like what was your interesting story, and what was the moment it's still you not able to forget.
Actually, Shruja, you know that I am working with Mohsinul Hakim and Danny. The thing is, he is one of the pioneer reporter of Bangladesh, because he has surrendered almost 450 potential pirates who they are like Somalian. You heard about Somalian pirates, and in our country in Sundarban, the largest mangrove, there are so many pirates lived there before. And reporter Mohsinul Hakim, through our channel, Jamuna Television, he has surrendered 450 potential pirates. Well, they used guns, and they robbed the the fishing boats.
Mm,
So and they give almost 22,000 bullets to the
mm.
government, and we did this almost
Yeah, it was
almost three
kind of
and a
it
half.
was kind of siege fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and almost 3.5 year we worked on this field, and right now the situation is the whole area is free from the pirates, and our government is our government give the space that state it is free, and the Sundarban is free from pirates. Now the fishermen are going anywhere they want, and they
My
collect
question is,
their fish.
what was the exciting part like? Because when I
Okay,
saw like there's the
so
people has a guns, people with the guns, and the both of them are sleeping at night with them. They're trusting them. And sometimes I saw and one of the senior like Mosul Hakim, like he's an amazing journalist, and by Islam Polin, like they're together. It's all the time in the Sundarban. And but the when you saw in the when you usually was from the television, it's kind of like, oh my God, what they're doing, even like inside in the Sundarban, and how they're like filming. I mean, this interesting part you can share.
okay, the thing is, actually, we used to go there almost every month, once and two times, and like we stay there on board every time. We have to stay 5 or 7 days, and our mostly we stay in 13 days in one board. We have to everything on one single space. We have to do everything in a single space in a board. And we have so many experience on there. Like we have to stay on the pirates, with the pirates, and we have to move with the pirates, and like
Even they have
one,
a gun, they carried the gun that time, yeah.
yeah. And the thing is, I want to share a story. Like we are staying in a base on pirates, and on that time, the security forces come, and they use their hand mic, and they call that we are surrounding you, and just come and surrender to us. And that time we are like, we get panic. What
Mm.
will we do?
Yeah.
And like we are running over the field, not field, we are running over the uh, we are running, and we haven't see, like there is a tree, there is the mangrove. We are not seeing anything. Just we are running from there. And after that, we go on behind a tree, big tree. Me, Mohsin bhai, and Rajiv bhai, we're going there, and like we slept on the paddy. you
Mm.
know we
Mm.
slept on the paddy. And the fire start, the pirates fire from one side, and the security forces fire from one side, and we are on the middle, and
And that time you
we are
you had
like
camera. That time you had camera, right?
yeah.
And you was
I have
filming.
my own camera.
And you
Not
was
really.
filming.
No. I'm not filming that time, because if I film there, then the pirates think that we we invite the security forces.
Yeah,
Pirates
yeah.
think that,
I
and
mean,
there is a trust issue.
misunderstanding might happen.
There is a
Yeah.
misunderstanding, and there is a trust issue. That's why
Yeah.
I have filmed there.
Mm.
But after that, I filmed so many times. Suja, almost 32 groups are surrounded by us,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, and it's an amazing work.
I mean, this is an amazing, like, why the both of you guys are important because Danny Bull, I know, like, you have been working with the Jonathan Hat, who is the
Yeah.
amazing person and covering the, like, humanitarian and minority and, like, trafficking issue for a long time. He's kind of one of the person, we are starting him. So, what kind of experience you have, like, when you were working with him, like, this kind of journalist, and when you are operating in forums and when you're covering the story? I mean, what interesting things still you are keeping in your mind?
Well, I'll say first of all, like that, my level of work had to raise fast
Mm.
to because like you say, he has experience, 30 years more. I don't know how long, and obviously always on like the very high end. So when I first came, it was really it was like a shock to the system. I was not totally prepared to either be in the situation or to work at the pace and the level with him. So, but obviously, it took me some time, and I had to get the whip, he had to crack the whip on me a little bit, to get up the pace. But it's been really good since then, and we've covered a lot of stories from Bangladesh to other natural disasters, earthquakes,
Mm.
and
If I added to one of the questions, what do we know? I'm from the journalism background, like I study in journalism and mass communication. So one of the questions is most of the time arise, like there is a debate on that. The videographer, video journalist, kind of person need to understand the language of reporters. I mean,
for
like
sure.
what reporter want to do, what reporter wants, and what kind of story, and what will be the better things. So when and how do you think, and why it is important?
For sure, 100%. When I first started with him, I didn't even understand the language of it yet, because I came more from documentary background, more like character narrative driven film, and it's a very different way of working, and I didn't. It's hard. You have to then get into the mode that like you're having a reporter that's going to lead the story. You need to be there with him to make sure that you have the shots that include all people together. You need to make sure that when it's time, let's say like you're in a big protest, or that there's some amount of action, whatever it may be, some excitement. That might be the time you're going to do a piece of camera. So you have to be ready with your mics. Piece of camera, for someone who doesn't know, is like when the reporter is going to talk about like the main essence of the story to the camera for the viewer. And I don't think I even knew what that term piece of camera was when I first started working with a reporter, working with BBC. And yeah, exactly. Like, so it's a totally
Yeah.
different way of
Yeah.
working.
And by this Polling, if I ask you, like sometimes because you are a senior video journalist, so sometimes you work with a lot of different kind of different reporter who are fresher and the first time they're doing the TV journalism and reportings. And in the meantime, you work with the experienced journalists. When you work with the experienced journalists, I mean, you all the time think what journalists are thinking, what reporter are thinking to produce. But in the meantime, as experienced video journalist, when you were in the field, when you think something, okay, reporter are not thinking about that, but you are thinking that's need to film. So how you convince and how you basically cooperate. And
Uh,
I added another line. I added another line. There is a most common line is we all the time says like this is a common and code. Television is kind of like broadcast media for the reporters because the people are not able to watch you. So yeah, I want to know your opinion.
Actually, the thing is, when you from the journalism background and you are working behind the camera, the thing is, you always you are in journalism.
Mm.
Though you are not from journalism background, you when you are working, you know from your work, right? So
Mm.
the thing is, when you from journalism background, you know the media jargon, you know the term,
Mm.
and that will help you to work on this field. And yeah, the thing is, I have worked so many types of reporter, and there are some pioneer reporter, there's some senior reporter, there's some junior reporter, and fresher as well. And the pattern of reporting is always same.
Mm.
The package, the oof,
Mm.
right? So the pattern of reporting is always same. So when you are working with a experienced reporter, you don't need to guide him. And
Yes.
when you are working with a fresher, you because I am senior, so the responsibility should
Mm.
the responsibility on me, and that's why I have to take that responsibility. Like not really that guideline, but sometimes he missed something.
It match
I
the camera.
I, I
And
Exactly. I should give him the clue. Like you should go there and take his interview, or
mm.
he wants to talk with us. He wants to tell something. So
mm,
and when I saw something unusual, so
mm,
I don't ask for the reporter, should I take this or
mm,
should not. I just came to I just go with my camera and I take that footage, and after that I told my reporter that I have this footage. Would you? I have this footage. Please,
mm,
you if you want to use it, then use on your report.
yeah.
The thing is, when you are working with an experienced guy, you understand. You will understand his eyes and
Yes.
also understand his eyeball. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Mm,
in investigative reporting, if, when you are working with a reporter so many years,
mm,
you should know his eye. You have to know his eye
mm, mm,
first,
mm,
because investigative reporting always depend on the eye, like the
mm.
what will I say,
I mean,
like
sixth sense. If you say like sixth sense, like, and what kind of? I mean, it's kind of. I mean, you can smell the taste of crime, and you understand like what the vibes and views of crime what is going on, because even what we heard, like, even for a crime reporter, body language even is important, like
exactly.
how
So
to give
the,
gesture and also the nonverbal approach of an reporter. Yeah. So Danny,
sometimes
yeah, please continue.
sometimes sometimes the thing is people don't know you are filming, but
Mm,
your reporter give you a clue from
mm,
his eyes.
mm,
You have to record,
mm,
or you have to follow this guy, but
mm,
no one knows that. So
mm,
for a investigative videographer, I'm not investigative videographer, but I'm working investigative reporting, so many types of investigative reporting. So this is the first priority, to know your reporter eye,
mm,
what his eyes say,
Yeah.
mm, mm.
right, Danny?
Yeah, and what he likes and also what he doesn't like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I can add the other questions here. Like, even this is more unofficially. I can like say I have an experience with a few people. So even I saw like when the reporter tried to do something, and in the meantime, the 20 years experienced video journalist said, "Hey, you need to do it. This is very good." And sometimes the reporter said, "No, no, no, no. This is I'm scripting on that." So sometimes the misunderstanding and mismatch might happen. So I mean, so this context, definitely we know the end of the day need to produce a, I don't want to say product, need to produce something for the peoples, or need to produce news. I mean, so whatever object or whatever thing suggested or recommended by the people. So when you work with that area in the people, like when you work with the Jonathan had and also work with the other peoples, what basic difference working with the experienced journalist and also the fresher journalist, what problem you usually face? Not a problem, like what you try you face in obstacles to balance.
Well, I mean, like something when you first started asking about that, it came in my head that I think is important is that with any team, as you go on, you're gonna the trust is gonna build, and that's something that's very important for your team because you guys are working all the time in structured situations, so you want to make sure everybody has that trust, and that's gonna come over time. Hopefully, always it should, but
Okay. You continue.
Yeah, I'm here.
and if
Don't
it
worry.
doesn't, then you need to keep working at it. But so yeah, while you signed back on, I was just saying that trust builds between the team, and that's something that's necessary. But one thing that I know might happen is if sometimes someone I'm working with doesn't want to do a piece of camera in a certain way or doesn't want to get some shot that I want, and if there's some friction against it, I'll say, look, that's fine. We can do it. We'll do it your way, but we'll just get this other way too, just as a backup. We don't have to use it. But I know in my head, I already see because if I'm going to edit the piece, I already know what the flow is. I can envision that. But maybe somebody who is not sitting down to edit can't envision what I want the reporter to do. So if they have some friction, I say that's fine. Look, just do it. We don't have to use it,
Mm.
but just do it for me, and we can look at it later on. And maybe when we look at it, maybe he'll say, "Oh, that's great. Actually, I do like it." Or maybe they'll say, "Okay, I don't like it. We don't use it. It's fine." But it's always good to have another option.
Yeah. I mean, good combinations and good chemistry. Like even what we know, like even when any of the team heading to the field to do any kind of journalism, even or any kind of reporting, even the driver is very important sometimes.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
important. Like need to understand even when I've been working with the people's like covering the crisis and feel like, oh my God, like 2 minutes late it means huge late because the people are coming from the Myanmar, so it's just need to go. So by this time, Pauline, if I ask you, like, we know this preparation is risky, and we know that this preparation is, and we are ready to do, we are ready to sacrifice a lot of things. But when we think about the family members and how you make your family members understand like what you are doing, this is something big and this is something playing different roles, or what about the perception? And I know people are used to, but try to just want to listen like what the conditions. Yeah.
Actually, now when I came to study on journalism,
Yeah.
so my our family know that we are going on the journalism field.
Mm,
We chose this field, not
mm,
this field chosen us. So
mm,
that when we chose this field, like we are committed to our work, and our family is uh, I hope they are happy because they are seeing our output on the television or whatever the media is. They are seeing our output, and I think that makes them happy. That
mm.
makes them feel happy,
Mm. Yeah, I think
isn't
this
it?
is this is I think this is an importance. And Donny Bowles, like if I ask you the same questions, I know like because when you were working with the BBC and you need to go somewhere in the different kind of field, like okay, you need to go, if you get the assignment, you need to go with the reporters in Afghanistan, Iraq, or other area like even the Thailand Myanmar borders. So I mean, how you convince your family and how you basically communicate with your family and also make them understand what you are doing, this is your passions, and something need to inspire.
Yeah. Well, I think that everyone in my family has always been supportive of the field I'm in. So I'm always thankful for that. So I don't really have any friction of that. But maybe sometimes
Mm,
people get worried about certain places. But I think it makes sense to explain that for us we always take like proper precautions and really assess the risk if there's some place like that. And it's we're together with a team. Like my team, we're only 3 or 4 people together, and I
mm,
think everybody makes decisions together about
yeah.
like how far we want to push it, how much we want to go into things, and so far it's been the right decisions. Hopefully it stays that way. I mean,
Yeah, and
it's
if I ask you like as a video journalist and as a journalist you are, because then I know like from Bangladeshi journalists and a lot of journalists are involved, they know each other and like they're communicating with each other. Like when you work with the Bangladeshi, have you ever worked with the Bangladeshi journalist?
well, we did when we were in Cox's Bazar.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. What was your
Um,
experience?
well, for me, it was great. I mean, there would be no way to do it without working
Mm.
within in Bangladesh. It'd be impossible.
Yeah.
So,
So and yeah. So if I ask a Bayazid from Polin, and I know I don't have I mean I'm not expert on the camera or like the video journalism, but I can ask on behalf of the audience. Like you saw the report which doing is in BBC and also the international reporting. Like their corresponding are doing. What basic difference you feel like there is a basic difference for in Bangladeshi media and international media, and even there is a lot sort of technical things. What basic difference you feel, or
well,
any
Mm,
kind of difference you feel or not?
Actually, I think the time,
Mm,
the reporting time, yeah, if I talk about BBC and CNN, the others, the international media, they are giving the space for the report. In our country, the commercials take the whole time. Only
Mhm.
news are like squeeze, and
Mm,
so that people sometimes people don't know the sometimes people miss the situation, actual situation for the
mm,
time, cause a special report should give the proper a special report should give uh, independent for times, I think, because it has no binding, it has no time frame.
yeah.
If this report takes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, 10 minutes.
Mm,
Then, if it is a good report, I think you should go. You should give the time. In
mm,
our country, you are in a time frame. You have to make your report
mm,
in this frame, so
mm,
that sometimes some information are like passed away. We
mm.
don't need to give this information because we are in a time frame.
Yeah, I mean,
So
slot
that
is, I mean, this space is so less than, I mean, others when you do any kind of, I mean, when you do the documentary, it takes like 1 hour or 45 minutes or 35 minutes, but just for the oops, for the small, for the package or any kind of breaking news or any kind of report, like 3 minute, 4 minute. Yeah.
No, no,
So,
no. In our country, like you can see the special report from.
yeah.
It's only 1 minute 3 second to 1 minute 50 seconds. So,
Okay.
is it possible to describe all this, all the things in 1 minute 50 seconds? Is it possible? Sometime you need more space, more time,
But one
isn't
of the
it?
things, and I know especially about the Jamuna televisions, and I know there's a investigative programs like 360 programs and also crime scene. So there is a program where they are really do the in-depth report. So why
Yeah.
you think so, like, I mean, why for the, I mean, for the regular or daily event and for the report is needed more space.
Actually, when sometimes you are not investigating all the reports. You are investigate some specific report. You
Yeah,
are
a
so
specific
you
fact.
yes. So some reports, you should give some reports space and time, because we are
Mm,
not following all the reports, we are not follow up all the reports, so you
mm,
should give time and space for
yeah.
those reports as well,
Mhm.
isn't it? and
Yeah.
and you are talking about the 360-degree program, the crime scene program, that is program, that is
Yeah.
documentary. So
Yeah.
there is a time, there is a big time for that single issue. But
Yeah.
in daily reporting, so
Yeah.
many issues are going on, but we
Yeah.
are not giving the proper space, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So Danny Bull, so what about your opinion? And like, and I don't want to compare like the BBC or others. It's, I mean, more objective. Like, I mean, what is the format of reporting you usually do? I mean, what of for all format, regular format you usually use to do the daily reporting? I mean, the even in spatial reporting. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give an example of what we're working on right now, which is the economic impact in Thailand, and
Mm,
I think luckily our team, we really feel it's important to have the characters of the country and the people lead the
mm,
story.
mm,
So we really have a lot of characters, and hearing it right from them. Jonathan, who I was working with, like he really likes to focus on that and not make the story be about the reporter being in the location. I don't know if that's going to be across the board with every reporter, but I know that's something that our team really focuses on. So
yeah.
even if we were going to compare characters to very nice landscape and scenery ooze over script, it's going to be a character over that almost every time,
Yeah.
just because that's how we like to lead our stories. So,
Yeah, I mean, so you are focused the character. I mean, focus
oh
on the subject, right?
yeah,
Human
always.
report.
Yeah. So by this Islam Pauline, by like, what about your dream? And every journalist, everyone has a dream, and like they want to be in somewhere and they want to do something future, because you guys are like, you know how to see and you have eyes to see, you know. So what about your plan to do like in future, like, and right now the lot of things change around the world, and as a when you do as an independent journalist, that you have done also the good job. So like, what's the patience you have? And the most of the people try to do in somewhere, like, okay, somebody feel like I can do the job in best job in Al Jazeera or BBC or Reuters or other international media. I mean, how are you doing journalism here, and how do you think, in your perspective, what is the future of Bangladeshi media, and what are the like?
Hmm. The thing is, if you want to know about my dream, I can share you. But if you want to know about the future of the media, no one tell the future of the media, because television is, I think, in future television will be disappear. New media will take the whole space.
Yeah, like
You
digital
know.
production media.
Yeah. So if you want to know from me, I am working on a TV channel, and if television is disappeared, so what gonna I do? And I am, like Danny, I love to work behind the camera, and that's why I want to be a cinematographer, like film, and
Yeah.
I want to be a cinematographer, uh, and DOP as well, you
Mm.
know,
Yeah, I mean,
and
this is a great. Yeah, this is an amazing. But I feel especially for the videographer and those who know the camera language, they have a much more opportunity to survive than others, because you guys are know like how to cook it. Even I mean, when the reporter do like without the film and without any kind of scene, what do we do? Definitely those who are the storyteller and the narrators writing in the print media, this is in kind of different perceptions. But when you were like, you know how to cook, like you have a camera and you have a mobile phone and you are doing it in an amazing way. But everyone are, as a general people, when they see like, oh, no, this is not look like that, and this is not look so amazing. But when you are filming and when you watch through the television or any other media, oh my god, how, I mean, how it's makes it possible, like, I mean, how it's happened. So Daniel, like, if I ask you, like, and you were working with one of the, I mean, old one of the renowned media agency and like media giant of the world, like BBC World Service you were working for. So what else you want? Like what? And in the meantime, I saw like one of the things. I'm very interested about that. You started right now one of the very independent show, and you were conducting the interview with the people, and also you were communicating with the people. And this is amazing. If you share with the initiative to us, I think that will be amazing. And you started one of the channel. So you started the channel for the like thinking about the future, risking for the job or anything else, or like this is kind of passion, or like you're doing fun.
Well, I mean, I started that originally because I've been getting so many questions from people like how people got started, or
Mm,
you know, what's it like, what's the best path, do I need to go to school, don't go to school.
mm,
And so that's kind of what started in the beginning. I thought about all the people have always asked me through the years, and it'd be good to have. I wish when I was in school that I had somewhere to hear all these stories and get information from the people directly who are really doing it. And so I think that's kind of why I first started doing that. Those set of interviews.
mm,
I mean, in terms of what's next. I mean, I still feel like I need to
mm,
always continue to
mm,
get better as a cameraman and editor,
mm.
and I still look up to people who've been doing this thing for 10, 20, 30 years, and you know yeah, just get better
I mean, I mean,
and
I mean, if
integrate better.
I ask you then, if I added then the questions like, I mean, are you informed about the Bangladesh media? And I mean, what about your perceptions about the Bangladesh media? Are usually following any Bangladeshi channels or any Bangladeshi newspapers or any of the media? Are you following that? And I know, like the reporter, they used to read the many reports from Bangladesh. And right now in Bangladesh, there's a lot of amazing reporters, and there's a correspondent also. And we know that BBC has a chunk in Bangladesh and bureau in Bangladesh. Yeah. So I mean, what when you know about the Bangladesh and hosting a million of Rohingya refugees, and there's a lot of stories is going on. So what about your perception? And I mean, what major things, and you feel like, oh, this thing is doing good in Bangladesh media?
Yeah, I personally don't follow enough as much as I should. I mean, the Bangladesh is part of the East Asia Bureau, so most of everyone's out of Delhi that are working in that region. So I'm heavily focused in the Southeast Asia, and yeah, I don't focus necessarily on the Bangladeshi media at the moment. But I'll follow your guys' stuff.
Yeah, me is also from the Bangladesh media, So I'm also representing the Bangladesh media,
Yeah,
and I think this is this is an amazing story. Even it's one of the things if I share with you, like when all the international media like make the headline and like the breaking news is from Cox's Bazar, and the journalist from Bangladesh they first started to do that, and I think this is a really amazing thing. And Bazistan Pauline, I know about like you also very curious and about the Jonathan had, and you know about that, and so what if I ask you like what basic different things you feel like, and also the other things like I know like BBC they have a huge budget for the programs and they have a lot of people because this is an international and I mean media for a long time. So when you saw that like somebody doing that and they haven't getting opportunity, so in the meantime, how you want to represent Bangladesh media or how you want to represent Bangladesh to the world?
Yeah, big channel, big budget, big what big support, small channel, small budget. So in our country, I'm working in in, in this situation. I'm working in a big channel, I think. So our everything is okay, and we are doing well, and that's why. Actually, I heard about Jonathan. Kamal Bhai take his interview on Thailand on the yeah, in on
Yeah,
which issue?
I mean, it was one of the event organized by the United
Malaysia.
Nations 2015,
Yeah, yeah,
and also that they're covering the Malaysian-Thailand border and the human trafficking crisis, and found one of the men's
exactly.
grave. Yeah,
Yeah. And and Bangladeshi media in our channel, Kamal Bhai is working for our channel, and our channel gives the opportunity to go to Thailand. Our channel gives me that opportunity to cover the World Cup in Russia. Our channel give me that opportunity to cover the election in London. So I work there. I go there. So that there's no basic difference. I think there's no difference
I just
between
actually another question.
that's
Like I'm just adding like, and when you were working in covering the international crisis, when you saw the camera person like Danny and also the other people, they're all are covering. Like, how do you feel, or they're discriminating you, or any kind of approach you feel, or how they take? I mean,
actually
what kind of relationship? Like, okay, they feel like this is a big media or a small media, if anything happened or not, and then I'll come to the lady. Yeah.
actually this depends on your body language. This depends on your gesture and posture and how you treat them. This depends because no not everyone knows about Bangladesh.
Mm.
You are representing your country, and when you are using when you have your camera, your tripod, and so they are looking at your like at your gazette, and like if you are compare his gadget and your gadget, you are doing the same thing. He is using the Sony camera, you are using the Sony camera, or
Yeah.
he's using the Panasonic one, and I'm using the Panasonic. So there is no basic difference between he and me, because
Yeah.
camera is the same thing, same menu, same option, same operation, same long, mid, close, same routine. So
Mm.
it depend on your. I think it depend on your body
Mm.
language. Because
Yeah.
if you are talkative, if you are want to if you want to make a friend from different country, you go there, go to them and talk to him. I think
Mm.
no one
Mm.
ever disclaimed me
I
like
mean, there is no matter of the inferiority or superiority.
no no
Yeah, there's
no
very,
no
very,
no
very
no.
complex. Yeah,
I
yeah, Danny Bull,
I
and
haven't faced.
yeah, yeah. I think this is amazing and terrible. We know that like the we right now the we feel like everyone is a global citizen. Like the camera is like a one of the global tools. Like where the same things, even you can use Bangladeshi camera when you be here, and he can like it's the same things. So and when you see like when you're covering the crisis, and there's a lot of journalists from around the country and a lot of camera person or from the different country. So what things in your mind? I mean, I know like you are focusing your work, but anything you need, suppose like, okay, you are working in the field, but somebody of your colleague from other countries, and what in which way you accept the people, and I know like the big people has a big hearted and they're amazing, because I have an experience to work with a lot of BBC correspondent and also the camera person, so I felt amazing people there. Even I work with a lot of people. People are amazing. So what kind of things? Even somebody says like a lot of people feel like superiority complex and pretty complex. If this happen or not?
I think like when covering big stories like that, and there's people from all over the world, I think that you can see right away how how people are, how because everyone's in a stressed environment, and as long as people are courteous, it's great. You know what I mean? As long as people are nice to each other, everybody
Yeah,
can get what they need. And I think
right.
there's a lot of respect. I think amongst journalists and camera people in general. Once in a while you'll see something, but I think people like tell that
Mm,
person to calm down if there's ever some situation. I think.
mm, mm,
Um, I think like something in terms of like crisis, like during the military coup in Thailand. Maybe that's like maybe 6 years ago now. It's crazy. 2014, I think. Um, there was a lot of people from all over the world that just flew in to cover that, and I think that's something that's okay. Take care, be careful in case things don't get a little bit too aggressive, and you're just coming in without a team and you're there alone. I think it's important to kind of like know your surroundings and at least know some people there. If you're just flying in somewhere alone,
mm. Yeah. I think this is a very important. Like when we feel personally like the journalist from any of the country, we are colleague. Like we
Yeah,
all are
right.
colleagues. We, whenever any journalist face any problems, and the other journalists need to talk about it, need to talk about their rights, talk about their
sure.
security, and talk about, I mean, their presence. I mean, if any journalist do any good things, we need to talk. And if any journalist face any problem around the world, and we need to talk, raise our voice from in our own platform. So I feel
Right.
this is also the one of the initiative, and I also feel like there is no discrimination. We are journalists, and we all are together around the world, and we all need to face, and we all need to fight together, whatever happened. And this is a platform, kind of global platform, and we feel so. We are kind of end of the show, and by this time, Pauline, if you say something to the audience, please.
What actually? Thank you, Surya, for giving me this opportunity uh, uh, to talk with Danny, and thank you, Danny.
Likewise.
It's an amazing opportunity for me, and it's a nice experience to share my experience with you two guys.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's the important, and I feel like the camera behind the scene, the people they are not usually talk, and they are not. I mean, not get. I mean, not that friendly to speak to the peoples. And if I say there's a lot of though,
Camera.
by doing
Yeah.
sometimes doing reporting on the camera. So yeah, Danny, well, like you work in Bangladesh, you covered the Rohingya crisis. So I think, yeah, what about your message, and if you want to say something to the audience?
Well, I want to say thank you for having me on, and pleasure to meet both of you on here. And I hope everything's okay, and we don't have to go anywhere else. We don't have to go cover another crisis.
Yeah, I think this is a one of the it's kind of one of the requests, and I feel, and definitely I'll try my level best to invite the both of the people and who are I mean on the camera, like Mohsen Hakim Bhai and also the Jonathan Hat, and I'll try to make another big event for both of them, both of the giant. And I think this is an amazing pleasure, and this is a favor and pleasure for me and also for the audience, like the people those who are working behind the screen, and you're doing amazing. And we are very happy you are here. And I feel like for the audience, they are the people who are thinking for you, and they are the people who are making something behind the screen. So don't all the time think about the people on the screen, and rather than you should think about the behind the screen people, and you should recognize what they're doing. I'd like to thank both of you guys, and this video is dedicated to the video journalist, camera person, photographer around the world who are making history and who are making signature and help the reporter, help the narrator to make the headline, to make the breaking news and to inform the world. So I should say bye bye for tonight, and the audience will come back with another guest. And please don't forget the camera person and don't forget us. And during the time of lockdown, recreation, creativity, even the camera work, the role of the camera is not lockdown. The show must go on. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.